Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, collectors of all ages, welcome back to AussieVerse, where today Sharif and I talk about what we have read July. And July indeed. It's a little late, but you know, we've always been late with these things. And before we even get started with the show, if you have any ideas for content, you do want to give us any sort of critiques, because we do have some pretty thick skins, you can check us out at Instagram at AussieVerse_Comx, where you can also check out A51_designs. Enough for the plug, and let's get down to the loving. The first book I want to talk about today is Damage Control.
Oh, that team.
Have you known anything about this one?
I've heard of the team. They're supposed to come in after the superhero fights and do the thing.
So I don't know. Again, these are some of the last trades that I'm getting, because I've told you I'm going to. I've gone to digital to keep up to date with everything. So I've still got some trades that I've pre-ordered, and this was one of them. And this is such a ridiculously funny book. It's like you said. It's about the company Damage Control that cleans up after all the superhero messes, but it's actually not about that. This particular story. This particular story is about an employee, this guy right here, who is such let's just say moron, that every issue he gets put into a different department and chaos ensues, you know. And it's really, really funny. It's a great read, but I don't think I'd ever read it again. I enjoyed it though. If you want to have a laugh, go check out Damage Control. They've always been good. That's my first one.
So what does it collect? Is it 4 issues, 6 issues?
5 actually, right in the middle. 5 issues of Damage Control, and it's written by Adam F. Goldberg, Hans Rodionoff, Charlotte McDuffie, Will Robson, Jay Foskett, Nathan Stockman, and Ruth Redman. Maybe it's not written by all of them, but that was all the names that it had on the back there. No, yeah, okay. Writers and artists and color artists. Damage Control.
Nice. My first book for this time around is Wonder Woman Conan. It's an unlikely crossover. It's by Gil Simon, Aaron Lopresti, Matt Ryan, and Wendy Broom. This hardcover collects the 6 issues. So all in, it's an interesting premise, seeing how the time period where Conan's supposed to originate from, and then seeing how Wonder Woman may be an immortal, and you know, this is like set way back. Interesting thing though, we are introduced to the female character who Conan come across when he was captured, dropped into the dungeon, and he saw this female warrior who he thought he recognized as his childhood friend named Yana. So this Yana apparently couldn't recall her past. So at that point, it could not be who Conan thought she was. But then over the period of the whole story, so this female character who Conan thought was Yana is actually Diana. And so they form kind of a friendship, a kinship, because both are warriors, and the reason why they were thrown into the dungeon was because this side hustle by the gladiatorial, how should I say, he fixes the matches. So he got in with these two female crows. It may sound a little dodgy there, but things. Well, essentially, towards the end, they got together to protect this city, um, and then they finally got introduced to the real Yana. And what happens between Conan and Yana, if you want to find out, pick up the book. That happens in the last issue. So it's a quick read, really simple. It's all right.
Yeah. Well, there's another book that I didn't even know existed, and I've got to add that to my crossover shelf because I recently got what was it, Red Sonja and Tarzan?
Yeah.
Remember I showed you that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next one I want to talk about is the rip-roaring, sensational. Oh man, this was just wacky, crazy stuff, and it was Jurassic League. And I was hanging to read this one for obvious reasons because I love my alternate versions of things. I love my one and done stories, especially when it's DC. And what a better way to celebrate all those things that I love and dinosaurs with Jurassic League. And it's great because it's a hardcover. I think they'll do more. I think they will. It's too good not to. Sharif, have you read this at all?
No, but I've read the premise. I think it sounds so silly. I think that's the reason why I didn't pick it up.
It is silly, man. I mean, you have this. I still call them a brontosaurus, but I don't think you call them that anymore. That I think that's what Superman is. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. And he lands on Earth, and the cavemen look after him, and he knows, he learns the value of human life and all that. And then you have all these other characters that are dinosaurs too, and they don't make sense at all, man. The other characters, but it's still some pretty cool artwork. And you know what? My favorite design, out of all of them was the Joker. I love the way he looked right there.
So sleazy.
Yeah. So if you want something that's a great time, one and done, dinosaurs, Justice League, go pick up Jurassic League. They are now being solicited with a trade paperback if hardcovers are not your thing.
My next book is by the dynamic duo of Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. This particular title is collected in several formats: 2 deluxe hardcovers or 5 trade paperbacks. As we know, Volume 1 of the deluxe is really hard to come by. So I got all the 5 trades and I put them into one. So this is the custom collection. So it's Fatale. This story follows this lady, Josephine. Throughout the whole book, we get to see her through different periods of time: 1930s, 1950s, 70s, up till modern times. She doesn't age, so it gets you thinking whether she's an immortal, whether she's a witch. And the story dabbles into black magic. This story is, I would say, mature rating. There's some nudity in there, lots of violence. Really, all right. So that aside, like I said, we follow the story of Josephine and her entanglements with different male characters who she initially met in the early 30s, lost touch with him, and then found him again 20-30 years down the road when she was tangled up with at that point in time, she was just staying away because people are hunting her for the reason because she doesn't age, so she attracts all this bad voodoo mojo stuff happening. So the interesting thing is that if the thing that I've let's see, right? So in early on, I think this is in the first volume of the trade, we get introduced to that demon there.
Yeah.
Because this is my second book from the team, that particular demon kind of remind me of another book that I've read before we did this segment, which is Kill or Be Killed. Again, from the same team. So what caught my attention was towards the middle of the book, very similar. I think it's a similar theme between these two books by the team. Volume 5 of the trade, towards the end of the story, everything gets resolved, and Josephine finally got what she was looking for. And what is she looking for? I'm not going to tell you.
I was laughing because we've recently had conversations about Kill or Be Killed, and it keeps popping up on Amazon, being available, then not available, then available, then not available. And oi. Anyway.
Hey, you gotta try your luck. If it pops up and it gets to you, oh
yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. My last one for this episode is, the reason why it's the last one is because I have been reading, as I've said, Marvel Unlimited, and I started with Jason Aaron's Avengers. Now, the Jason Aaron's Avengers alone is 60-something issues. So I'm still reading it. However, it then splinters off into its other sister title, Avengers Forever, which we all know as a previous story that once was, a great Avengers story. But this is completely different. And this is volume 1. And then you have volume 2. And there will be a volume 3 to wrap it up, I believe. Ooh. And I've got to tell you, man, I'm not going to talk about Avengers Jason. I'm not going to talk about Jason Aaron's Avengers just yet. I want to talk about Avengers Forever. And the reason why is because I've heard a lot of flack about Jason Aaron's Avengers run. And I don't blame people for saying that. It's not, fantastic. I still think it's enjoyable. It has ups and downs and all that. But Avengers Forever is really, really cool. And I might be biased in saying that because I love my alternative dimension character people or characters, two characters that emerged into one. And what if Thor became a Shang-Chi, for example, and things like that. And Avengers Forever is all that, man. It is all that. It is about this team of multiversal masters of evil that get together, one of them being the Doom above all, which is like the Doom above all dooms. There is a Red Skull with a symbiote. That's the Black Skull. There is a Ghost Rider, Norman Osborn Ghost Rider. That's the Ghost Goblin. There's a few of them, right? And they're brutal, and they're going through the realities, dimensions, whatever, and they're killing planets, worlds, whatever. And the Avengers clue onto this, and the Avengers realize that they need their own multiversal Avengers. So a lot of issues, single issues, are telling the tale of one particular Avenger that we've never seen before. Like I just said, the Shang-Chi Thor. That's the only one that I'll say, for example. And there's heaps of them. And it's building this. It's really Spider-Verse, but Avengers, And you have like this army of of Steve Rogers and all these other, and it's really, really cool, man. And I haven't even finished it yet. I'm up to like the final battle, and I can't wait to read it. I'll probably finish reading it tonight. But if you love your different dimension reality, what if storylines, that is part of continuity as well, I highly recommend you get Avengers Forever. Even if you don't like Jason Aaron's Avengers, go get Avengers Forever, because I really enjoyed it. And I think it's really cool. Now, as far as Avengers Forever is concerned, yeah, look, I think it's good. If an omnibus comes out, it'll definitely be 2. Will I get them? Hell yes. It was enjoyable. I mean, Blade's a part of the Avengers. Who doesn't want Blade to be a part of the Avengers? This new Ghost Rider, I didn't care about whatsoever, because I don't like replacement characters. I like the old ones, you know. But I got to tell you, this Robbie Reyes, he grows on you, and he's got a lot of balls, and you end up really liking him a lot. So even though the Avengers does have some lulls in it, I think it's worth reading, and I think it's good. So don't necessarily listen to all the critics, and give it a shot yourself. It does go through a few things like Judgment Day, Axe, and King in Black, and a few other events. So, you know, you can skip those 2, and that'll shorten the run as well. But yeah, definitely give it a go. Sharif, did you? Yeah, man.
You mentioned that there's going to be a volume 3 to that.
Yes.
How do you read 1 and 2 and then just wait weeks and months for 3 to come out?
Well, actually, it's funny you say that, because, as you know, we are trade collectors, collected edition waiters, right? So we usually wait for the trades to come out and read it. When I know that it's a volume 1 and I know that there's a volume 2 coming, I'll usually just wait and put them on the shelf, right? And I actually thought that was it, that was done. But then I started reading Jason Aaron's Avengers on Marvel Unlimited, and I found out that this isn't a mini series, which I thought it was, which it is. It's a mini series that runs like Avengers in parallel. Thank you, Avengers, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You don't need to read Avengers to read this, and I don't think you really need to read this to read Avengers. However, I haven't finished both of them yet, so I could be completely wrong, and you might need them each other. I'll tell you in next month's read in August.
Okay.
Anything else for us, Sharif, before we go?
No, that's it. Hope you check out the books that we've talked about, and if you have read them, let us know in the comment section.
And as usual, AussieVerse is and always will be for life. We will see you soon with brand new videos, heaps of more content coming at you. Thank you very much for joining us. It really means the world to us. Please don't forget also, if you'd be so kind, like, subscribe, share the videos. We want AussieVerse to grow bigger and better for us to be able to make more content right for you. Thank you very much. Creators, comic book artists, comic book illustrators, you want to know where to go to buy anything about Australian comics books, and you go to Comx. Because what's the best thing about Comx? They bring Australian creators together, and not only that, they have one flat shipping rate. 10 comics, it doesn't matter. They don't care. They will ship it at one price. Comx, ladies and gentlemen, go find out.